we shot at Harvard Arboretum, which is in JP. It's like this tree park. And we shot, yeah, in the snow there. It was not as cold as my shoot, but it was still like pretty, like by the end of the shoot, I was pretty cold. And I was the one who had like layered the most. But the photos turned out pretty good. I'm excited for this issue.
Yeah. What's the theme? Is that secret?
No. We announced it after we like established the theme like the week after. So this theme is Awakening, and it's supposed to be like the sister issue for Lost theme or Lost magazine, which was Disrupt. Supposed to kind of be like coming out of 2020 and like what 2020 was, and not kind of in the final form, um, since I don't know, kind of not over COVID and like everything else that's happening in the world. So in this like transition period. So that's what that is. But Kevin modeled for Renaissance, which is the theme of like the shoot that he did with Maya Angela, which is supposed to be like
Yes,
a take on
sir.
modern Renaissance.
Renaissance.
But it was cool. Yeah, the
Good.
photos. Simran is like almost finishing editing the photos. So I'm excited for those.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I saw you guys are doing like, you're like having a meeting tomorrow about like sustainable fashion and stuff.
Yeah, there's like I think it's like 3 clubs. It's like Net Impact and the Avenue and maybe like the Fashion Club, Retail Fashion Society.
Fashion Society.
Yeah, we're
Northeastern Fashion.
yeah, that's tomorrow. It's like a sustainable fashion show and tell. And then there's supposed to be a donation drive happening on Saturday.
Fun.
Yeah.
You don't seem very excited about it.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just be kind of monotone sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know if I can even make them, because I think that the Fashion Society thing is happening. Oh no, it is happening tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but I don't know, because I'm not like, I feel like usually they do a lot of like like our communications team plans a lot of stuff and then just lets us know if like we can make it, then we can go to it. But it's not like I'm directly involved in the planning of it. So I don't know too much about what's going on, but I did sign up to volunteer for Saturday's donation drive. So I'll be out there monitoring. Well, like if I can end up making it, I said that like I would probably be able to go. But did you guys go to our we did like a clothing swap last year, which was actually really cool. Did you guys hear about that or go to it?
I didn't go to it. I don't know if I heard
When was
about it.
this?
It was we did a partnership again with like the Northeastern's like Fashion Retail Society Club, and we did a clothing swap. So it was like members of that club and members of the Avenue brought clothes that they wanted to donate, but like we would all like lay it out by items of clothing, and then you could like grab what you wanted. Everything was free, and like you grabbed what you wanted and left what you didn't want, and then any extras were donated to, I think, just like Goodwill.
I think I remember that. I don't think I
Yeah.
ended up going though.
Yeah. But this year, I think we're just doing a regular donation rather than like a swap, obviously, just because of COVID and the like safety precautions with that. But that's on Saturday, so you guys have. I think they're still figuring out.
August is in Albuquerque though. He's on a gap year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very far away. But
Yeah. Is it weird not being in classes?
it's like honestly no. But sometimes it's weird just like remembering that everybody else has to take like midterms this week or something.
Yeah. When you guys are doing your intro, should I just like, I leave my camera on and stuff though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, when does this theme song play again? Freak.
It's just like you're like welcome to unlock the swag, and then it's like
And
beep,
then
boop,
the
beep,
theme song
boop.
play. We can't hear it, so it's like
Yeah.
we just pretend to dance to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Will it start at 7, like the music?
No, it's like at 7-ish.
The
The
video will start playing, and then
the
we'll like
video.
eventually then she'll be like, "Yo, welcome to Unlock the Swag." When like some more people pour in, because it's on live YouTube right now.
Yeah, Kevin and I will like
We'll just like keep talking regularly, and then at a certain point, we'll be like, "Yo, it's time."
yeah.
But like right now, there's only 4 people watching, and I bet like 3 of them are me, August, and his dad.
I sent the links to my parents and like my friends, so maybe they'll.
Oh shoot.
Epic.
Do they care if we swear?
No, I don't think they care.
Okay, word.
You're good. You're good.
We don't really say bad words ever, but if we did, we wouldn't want to embarrass you.
Oh no, you're totally fine.
Honestly, I don't really think we do. We probably like say like the F word like to like emphasize something. I guess.
Yeah.
That's it though. Like I don't know.
I
No, yeah,
appreciate
honestly, we don't even really.
the countdown in the chat.
Yeah. There's 5 people watching. One of Xander's friends commented on Xander's video. That's pretty funny.
What'd they say?
They said something about Xander being swag.
I need to rewatch it.
At the beginning, we were getting like some spam comments about like, click this link for hot girls or something.
Really?
Oh no.
Yeah, because the email account would like send me emails whenever we get any comment, and then it'd be like, hot girls, click this link. Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah. Do you have your comments like turned off now?
No, we just like reported those, and then
Yeah.
we haven't gotten any more. But
That's good.
yeah, it was cool seeing like a real human comment.
Oh yeah, not many people comment.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to like add some controversy. That way people can argue in the comments. Yeah.
Could come up with just like responsive. Oh.
Responsive.
Oh, 7 people watching?
What?
Damn.
Put your
Yeah,
dad's-
but it's also like you can watch the replay on YouTube, so like that's still a good way to view this stuff. Episodes like have been like from anywhere to like from like 30 to like it was like 2 hours. I don't know.
2 hours?
I don't know about that actually. Like an
No
hour
way.
and a half though, because like after the show cuts off, we just like keep talking. At some points, the video is cut off, but like it's just like sometimes there's just like good conversation to be held.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, sometimes we have like a lot of things that we want to talk about and like can't get into it in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your what your dad said in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, we can just start.
Okay.
Wait, you want to go? You go, August.
Okay, I'll go.
The last time.
Hi, welcome to Unlock the Swag. I'm our host today, August Escandon. This is my co-host,
Evan Zhang, and we're here today with Kaela Anderson. We are all Northeastern students.
Kaela, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Like, wait.
Unlock the swag.
It's a bop. Keyboard dog.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm Kaela. I'm a 4th year student at Northeastern studying journalism and interaction design. And I'm currently the associate creative director at The Avenue, which is our school's only fashion and lifestyle magazine.
Yeah. I feel like a baby. Tell us a little more about what you're studying.
Yeah, so my combined major of journalism and interaction design is pretty cool because I'm able to kind of get a little bit of everything under my belt at school. Like I'm doing a lot of, I started just with journalism and doing just a lot of reporting and interviewing style classes and kind of getting the whole stereotypical or conventional journalist role under my belt. And then after declaring my interaction design combined major with journalism, I started taking my first kind of studio classes at Northeastern. I'd never really taken a proper studio class before. I mean, you have art classes in high school, but I was never super in that whole design world before. So I started doing that and kind of getting into this kind of field of like understanding that with reporting or writing in general, it's always nice to have some sort of visual element or interactive component when you're reading. It helps kind of keep the readers engaged or expand your audience. And that's kind of why I decided to do interaction design, because it wasn't just graphic design and it wasn't just writing. It was a little mixture of both and understanding like user experience and user interface as well as writing.
So you'd say interaction design is like how you interact with the
So I'd
right?
say,
Or
so interaction design is kind of, it's not, they're separate from each other, like my journalism and interaction design. Like I've taken classes. So for example, I took a visual storytelling in media class, and that kind of was the, I would say like epitome or like definition of what the combined major is for myself, which is like when you're telling a story, you want to visually represent the words that are on the screen, whether that be through like a video or an illustration that you click through and there's animations involved. And so when you're storytelling as a designer or a writer, you always want to consider how another person is experiencing that. And that's kind of what the purpose of interaction design is supposed to be. It's always considering like the user's experience while you're designing for them. And then journalism is just like the added quality of like, if I'm not just designing this and I'm also incorporating my writing into my design, how do I encompass all of it and make sure that the reader or the user is kind of first and foremost, like what am I providing them that makes them appreciate what my work is doing?
Okay, we're so like we can definitely tell from like just based on what you're studying, you can document and express through like a wide range of mediums. And like I
Yeah.
guess like I think that's something we would be interested in talking with you about because like also like your portfolio, you have so many different mediums that you have work from.
Yeah. Yeah. I love like the creative freedom that you kind of get because you can work on like, I mean, you can publish your things on Medium or WordPress for writing purposes and kind of understand visually what your readers need. Like maybe they don't just want to see words on a page, they want video or photo to be incorporated or some sort of design element. And then if I were to look at it from just a design perspective, if I'm creating a website for a client or for myself, how will those users interact with it? Like what's convenient for them and how will they understand it from an outsider looking in type of thing. So it's definitely been super fun to kind of experiment with different types of mediums. I've taken studio classes where I'm just working with Canvas, and that was like very different than what I'm used to, but then also being able to apply it to like online stuff with Adobe or other, you know, like online applications that I use to create art, I guess.
very fun.
Damn. Let's see. I guess a question referring to like I guess expanding again on like the concept of your desire to document. What do you like usually choose to document and like what would you say is like something that is best left in the moment?
So do you mean document in terms of like just my work in general, like what I gravitate towards working on
Well, I
or?
mean, it doesn't have to be something that's like in a work setting. It could just be like pictures you take in like everyday life that you would like cherish too.
Yeah.
What either or.
I don't know. So I'm like definitely very into street style. And so I think that that kind of is like, I take a lot of inspiration from street style and just like things that are going on kind of outside of my house. And I love just like taking pictures, like walking around cities and like what people are wearing or kind of maybe like the art on a side of a building, that type of thing is very interesting to me. Like I definitely gain most of my inspiration for like my work from that. And it's also something that like I just enjoy noticing in life. It makes me feel inspired on a day to day and kind of admire the like real, I don't know, like the world around me. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say like streetwear and like lifestyle, like street style stuff is definitely kind of what is my favorite thing about either documenting or just like cherishing for myself. They kind of go over like overlap with one another.
Mm. I guess like
What?
where you go.
Okay, so like, what's something that you cherish but you can't document, or like decide not to?
What's something I cherish but I don't
Like,
document? Um,
or like, is there a part of street style maybe? Because like you said that inspires you to like take pictures of it, but do you ever feel like it's better not to take a picture?
Yeah, I guess like with street style stuff, like, I mean, I don't go through like every moment of my day, like taking photos of things. Like sometimes I just like, I don't know, I see like an outfit on the street. I'm like, oh, like that's kind of sick. And then I go home and like maybe recreate something along the same lines, but is my own. I'd say like another thing that like I cherish and kind of keep not to my like I share with my friends, but maybe don't publicize all the time is maybe like the music I listen to. I think that like that also draws certain like I don't know can determine my mood for the day, and then what outfit I end up wearing is because of maybe a song that I listen to, that type of thing. Like kind of sets my vibe. And I love sharing like my friends and I share music with each other a lot, but that's probably like more internalized rather than like projected out onto the work that I do, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's a good ass answer.
What songs have been setting your vibe recently?
Ooh, recently, I just started getting into Freddie Gibbs a little bit with some of my friends from home really like him. So I started listening to him. My like, I don't know, my go-to music of all time is definitely the 2000s R&B era. That's kind of where I like find my happy place. So I listen like today I just ran through some of Jay-Z and like Kanye's old stuff to kind of like hype me up for like I don't know, sometimes I kind of feel bummed out when I have a bunch of homework to do, as I'm sure you guys do as well. So I don't know, I'll put on like my go-to like 2000s playlist and kind of get in that mindset to be like, all right, I'm ready to actually like get some work done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Samuel Crutchfield asks, favorite artist right now? Question mark.
Favorite artist right now? Ooh. Sam's putting me on the spot a little bit. I don't know, right? I mean,
You can give more than one answer.
okay. I have to like, if you want to look at my like recently played on Spotify. Um, I just watched, have you guys seen the movie Malcolm and Marie with like Zendaya on Netflix?
We
No?
have
Okay.
not. We the last dude we interviewed was a film buff, and
He trashed it.
he trashed it. He trashed it.
Okay. Well, the soundtrack on the movie is really good. And there's a song by William Bell. So I'd say like my favorite, I'm gonna answer his question with my favorite song rather than my favorite artist. But my favorite song right now is I Forgot to Be Your Lover by William Bell. I think I play that song probably 5 times a day, and my roommates like are probably driving like going crazy over the amount of times I've played it, but it's a good one.
All right.
I heard. I guess like just where are you from? Like what's your ethnicity?
I'm
That's cool
from
to ask.
So I'm from Montclair, New Jersey, which is right outside of like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the tri-state area region, but it's like 30 minutes outside of New York, to put in perspective of like a bigger city, I guess. And my parents, my dad was born in Belize, but like grew up in Brooklyn, and my mom is from Michigan, but then moved to New York, and that's where they met. So half black and half white. So yeah, I got a little bit of everything going on in my life right now.
Very nice. Okay, cool. I would say
How is that?
like
Okay.
No,
I'm asking. Get out of
yeah,
here, Tim.
go. Then ask it.
How has that influenced you culturally?
Yeah, facts. I was gonna
Um,
ask that too.
Culturally, well, I guess I don't know. Like, I've actually written a couple of pieces for Northeast for the Avenue, like before I like joined on the like editorial board, about kind of fitting in and like either feeling the lack thereof in terms of fitting in. Just because where I'm from is a pretty diverse area. A lot of people moved from New York City out into like the New Jersey, North Jersey suburbs. So I grew up. I like was on a block of like a bunch of mixed kids. So I felt like very safe in that environment, and just I could go next door and it would be someone who looked just like me. And then coming to school in Boston was definitely a little bit of a culture shock, and one that I wasn't really anticipating just because it's only 3 hours away from home, you know? So that was definitely an adjustment. And like just with kind of everything that's been going on in like the Black Lives Matter movement over the past year. I mean, like today marks the 1 year anniversary of the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. And so that kind of like puts, and I was thinking about that today and just like, damn, like it's already been a year since that happened. And it, so much has happened since then. And I kind of like took, I think a lot of people in my friends, like my peers that are also of people of color or Black people, kind of like, I don't know, it kicks you when you're down when like that type of stuff happens, and it really puts the world into perspective. And I think that from that I found inspiration to just try to educate people. And so I actually started, or I was asked to join to become the editor-in-chief of a newsletter that centers around the Black Lives Matter movement and educates people specifically on that. So that's kind of where I've been at right now, is like in turn, instead of like being angry or like sad at the world, I figured like I'd use that to help people like better understand what's going on. And so, yeah, I guess with like everything that's happening, I've kind of found peace in the education aspect of it, is like how I can like sleep at night a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we hear it. Mm, I guess. Um, should we ask a question in the chat?
Sure.
Is that what the intention was when you? Like,
Who, me?
yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So my favorite clothing designer, my mom would like to know. Right now, I'm thinking. I don't actually know if I have like one favorite clothing designer at the moment. I think that like I gravitate towards like, again, a lot of street style stuff. And so I find a lot of like inspiration from Stussy, and just like kind of their brand. I like that they play a lot with like gender norms and have a lot of times like what they like classify as women's clothes is primarily the same as their men's and vice versa. Like it's very a unisex brand, and I appreciate that. I think I like prefer dressing under like the gender norms of like male. I just like find comfort in that. So I'd say I like draw a lot of my inspiration as of recent has definitely been Stussy inspired. And she also wants to know my favorite museum. My favorite museum is probably the MoMA. I'm a big fan of modern art. I don't know. I really try to get into like fine art and like Renaissance art. And I don't know. I try, but it's not my go-to. But modern art, like from the era of like, I'd say the 70s to the 90s is kind of my favorite. I love like Andy Warhol, Basquiat. Those are like two of my like favorite artists right now.
Pop art stuff.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
I'm excited. My roommates and I actually have tickets to, and I also have tickets with my mom to go see Basquiat at the MFA, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. They have a pretty cool, like modern contemporary art section there that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I was trying to get tickets, but it's so I don't even know how far in the future it's sold out for.
Yeah, ours are for like a month from now.
Yeah, oh damn.
You just have to get the tickets now.
Yeah.
And maybe you can go in like May.
Yeah, definitely worth it though. I mean, to see like a special exhibit on Basquiat, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, I'll probably do that immediately. Do you want to do the mini game, August? It's a good time.
No. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm screen sharing. Thanks.
You're doing it. Kevin has
Okay,
been talking.
before I'm not sharing the right. Am I sharing the right thing?
Yeah.
The photo
Okay.
shoot this week.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let's do
You
it.
saw my emails for a sec. Anyways, okay. I mean, yeah. As the title says, we're just gonna display some photo shoots just from random ones that we chose, just like a couple photos from it,
Mhm.
just like literally whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
Like criticism or just whatever you like to.
All right.
Okay. So this
Ooh.
is Rina Sawayama, Queen for Nylon Japan.
Yeah, I love this is like one of my favorite like photo edit manipulations right now. Like this like hazy kind of brings you back to like the 2000s era a little bit. Like I don't know, some album cover art. I'm into this.
It's like dreamy.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives me like kind of like Petra Collins, like that style a little bit of like photo editing. I'm into it. Yeah.
Is there anything you would do differently, or is you said it's one of your favorite?
Yeah, I really like the photo in the middle. Like I like that she's upside down, and I love the hues of blue that are being shown and like kind of accented by her shirt. I don't think I would change anything about these. I like them.
Okay, word. Oh, damn. Is it spacebar to go to the next one, August?
I was using the arrows.
Oh yeah, that works. This is
Hunter.
yeah.
I'm honestly
Hunter's the
a fan
goat.
of anything Hunter does because she's just
Mhm.
like really cool. And kind of, I don't know, I just love that she's like breaking the barriers in like every sense of the word. I definitely say that this isn't my style. Um, it's kind of interesting because I feel like paper does more of like the image that you showed before, or not like, I don't know, they don't. I feel like I haven't seen as many experimental shoots from paper, or maybe I just the ones I've paid attention to haven't been like this. But I love that she's kind of brought that euphoric, or they've like really played into the euphoria vibe here. It's a little like fairy tale, gives me like fairy vibes, like the one on the left. But like in a good way. But I think I'm a little biased because I really like Hunter Schafer's work and all that she is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good representation of her as opposed to the magazine, if that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Eve Toomer. He does a lot of shoots with Anonymous Club.
He does?
I think so. I mean, like, I look on his Instagram and literally every post is like with Anonymous Club.
This is sick. I love the photo in the middle and the one on the right a lot. The one on the left, I mean, is like very cool, but I get more. I'm into photo manipulation a lot, and like one of the areas of expertise that I want to expand more on that I really don't know or have enough experience in, or is collaging. And this is super cool. It gives me like I mean, Andy Warhol does certain stuff like this where he kind of like layers the same on top of each other, and it's got like the pop art colors a little bit going on. I'd say that this is like kind of my favorite vibe of the three that including this one that you've shown so far. I love the like, I don't know, the extraction of colors from these images. And has that kind of like paper, like the middle one has like it feels like a piece of paper, like you can see like the creases that they've shown on it, like on the top right part, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot.
And also the tape. Like
Yeah.
the tape.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's so sick. Okay. August's idol.
Okay. Drain Gang.
Okay.
Oh, you were talking about like playing into like menswear stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
And then also like Kevin and I have kind of been talking about like dressing more androgynous and like
Yeah, literally that's that's the wave for us too currently. And
Yeah.
you can see it through the photo, like literally the photo shoots we've shown you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I definitely love like, I mean, androgyny right now, I think is just becoming kind of, I mean, yeah, it's like pronouns are, or gender norms are being kind of like taken out of the equation just because like I mean, they shouldn't be really the thing that matters anyways. And like playing into this whole idea that like, why does it matter what you wear is what you wear type of thing. This gives me like Paris Fashion Week, like 2005, a little bit. Like the photo editing of it is super cool. It reminds me of like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to FIT in New York City, but they do a lot of student exhibits there. And this reminds me a little bit of stuff that you would see at like a college exhibit or like high-end fashion week. So like kind of extreme opposites, but also not at the same time, just like super kind of bending the norms. I really like it. I'm interested with the photo on the bottom right. What's going on there? With the like white face.
It looks like the ice cream commercial. If y'all, okay, I don't even know. Yeah, the weird one. But
Yeah.
next on that
Is it
note,
just overexposed? Oh, this one's like kind of not really a photo shoot, but I just wanted to put Chloe Halle in.
Yeah. I mean, they're like super relevant right now. This reminds me of Beyonce's Black is King a little bit. Which she did like after like the Lion King stuff came out. Or like, I mean, way after, but like reminds me of like that whole creative vision a little bit. Like you have these two powerhouse women of color front and center with this like hazy mystical edit a little bit. There's kind of like this like glow to them. Yeah, they're a vibe for sure.
oof. Okay, this last
This one, the Chloe and Halle one was really cool because oh, they like went on this beach and then like recreated a Nigerian folk tale.
Oh, that's sick.
And so like it ended up being like a 5-minute little short movie, but
Oh,
they also looked really cool while they were doing it, so I thought I could put it in.
Yeah, I always love like learning this because I mean I think half of the time like the story behind a photo shoot, because obviously sure a picture can tell 1,000 words, but sometimes a backstory is important to kind of understand the vision or the creative direction that's involved in it.
Yeah, for sure.
for sure. Oh, for sure. Jinx. Okay. Rena again because
I gotta know. I'm gonna do some research on who Rena is after this because I don't.
her music. I mean, she's a musical artist. Her music is so good. It bops.
Yeah,
Like Dynasty.
I like this. I mean, this is giving like Renaissance like theater glam for sure. Like especially the left and the center one, kind of like not really. I mean, no, I wouldn't say burlesque, but I'm getting like movie poster vibes from the center photo. I like this artistic direction a lot. Similar to is it by the same photographer as the first images that you showed?
It's not.
They're different. Yeah, I don't know. I love the attention to detail is also pretty cool. Like on the left, you can see like her eye makeup is like, there's like, it looks almost as if she has like a second eye above her initial eye, like how her eyeliner is. And the center, all the flowers and stuff around it and all the colors. I like this. Yeah, so far I like everything you guys are showing.
Oh damn.
Right.
Yeah.
No negative criticism so far, at least.
No, I mean they're all super sick for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
And then we were gonna do. Okay, wait. How do I? Let me figure this out. Let me stop screen sharing.
Oh.
I can like talk about that spread if you want while you pull up the.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what was the idea behind that?
behind that, okay, so this is my first year as in a creative position at the Avenue, and I really just like was gonna like throw a fit if we didn't have a person of color as the model. I just like think that now, if ever, is like so important to have in like not only in Boston, because like Boston kind of lacks a sense of diversity, but at Northeastern and also in like the creative spaces, why Black people, especially like Black men, like aren't represented in the fashion industry, and or why there's maybe like two famous Black models out there, and kind of the importance of seeing yourself on a printed magazine is like, yeah, it's cool, but it's also important and shows that like you can do it too type of thing. And with liminal spaces, our idea was to have this kind of like eerie feeling of like being kind of alone and isolated. Again, with the issue Disrupt, the idea of having a Black man in the cover, you know, he breaks the boundaries of whatever the societal norms prior were of only having, you know, a white female or male on the cover, or maybe like one Black guy to like, or Black person to like three non-people of color. Yeah, and so we had a lot of fun with this shoot and just kind of wanted to bring attention, more so him than anything else in the issue, and show that like he is the center of it, and that's kind of it at the end of the day. Yeah, so this was fun. We shot like 3 locations, and we have this whole like schedule, like shoot schedule as you're supposed to have when you're shooting, plans so that you can kind of get from point A to point B in a timely fashion. We ended up spending like, I think we were on shoot for like 6 or 7 hours just because we wanted to perfect it. And I mean, I'm so happy about how this turned out. And it was my first issue in a creative role, which was super cool. And like to have him kind of shot on film and like play with lights. And he's also wearing in some of the shots, he's wearing women's clothes, which is, I don't know. It was cool to kind of have that be represented and play with like a man carrying a bag and like having this accessory. And yeah, I don't know. It was a very fun shoot and a very like um, great first learning experience in a creative role.
Very cool. Yeah, the photos turn out so sick.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've had a couple Avenue members on the show, I guess. It's
We've had Q.
great. Yeah, we've had Q. Q was like literally like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Really? Yeah, Q's dope. Yeah. And it was also just cool to like, Q's a student athlete. And so to have like a male student athlete be represented in the world of fashion, where you would see like, I guess like stereotypically those two worlds don't collide, or maybe they collide for an athletic shoot, but not for an editorial or fashion shoot. So it was an honor and a pleasure to have him as the model.
Yeah, it was really cool for sure. He's definitely like navigating many barriers as as a basketball player. But yeah, exactly. While we get back into it, a question asked is, how has your grandfather inspired your design ideas with photography? I assume that's a family member.
Probably from probably from friends or family. But yeah, so my grandpa, although his profession wasn't photography, it was always a hobby of his. And so all of like the photo lessons that I got, because I've never taken, well, I went to like a photography camp for a summer and like stayed with my grandparents while I was in that class or in that like program. Um, but yeah, like growing up, I would go and visit my grandparents, and he had a dark room in their garage. So it was cool to just like be a little girl and like watch him like develop his own film in the house. And he kind of really showed me that like you can, even though it's a hobby, because for him, he was retired and just taking photos for people for like freelance or just like fun, that you can do it just because you want to, and it doesn't have to be like your career, but it can inspire you. And I think that's also probably like what got me into street style, is like him and my mom would go out and photograph people on the street like wearing clothes, because my mom's a fashion designer. And like I think that that kind of inspired me to get more into the creative field, because I had started with writing and then kind of realized that I didn't want to just do writing. And he kind of inspired me to play around with like not only digital, but I recently have like been getting into film photography, and he's shown me the ropes with that and like learning the ins and outs of film cameras and digital cameras as well. Yeah, I don't know. He inspires me to like just try, like, why not? You know, you have a camera, like, why not just use it and see if anything that you shoot turns out the way you want it to? And if it doesn't, like, maybe you can use Photoshop or Illustrator and like edit it and do what you want to the photo. So I definitely learned a lot of like my why nots from him, because you never know unless you go out and do it. So yeah.
Okay. I guess on the note that your mom is a fashion designer, how at what age did you get into fashion slash like yeah, how long have you been into fashion?
Well, I've always been pretty well dressed as a little girl just because she was in the industry. Um, and then like, yeah, I'd say that I didn't start like really, I mean, everyone goes through like their dressing themselves phase and like you look back at the pictures and you're like, I can't believe I ever wore that type of thing. But so I went like, I wouldn't say that I really got into my fashion sense like fully until I started like getting into sneakers like the end of high school, beginning of college. Like I think I got my first pair of like actual like cool sneakers out. Like I'll want to keep forever, probably like my freshman year of college is kind of like, I think that when you're home, like what, at least for me, like being home, I'm comfortable in the, I guess like location that I am and like could dress however I felt, but also like you're surrounded by like your peers. And so you're often like, I find most of my inspiration at that time was especially through my friends. But then in college, I was taken out of that like bubble and kind of had to inspire myself. And so that's, I think, when I started getting into street style a lot more and started like playing with like wearing a lot of men's clothes and things like that. Because also my mom, um, used to just design men's outerwear. And so a lot of the stuff that was in the house or things that she was working on were not for women, they were for men. And so kind of understanding that whole area of expertise was pretty cool. Yeah, so I think I like really got into like my own groove, like 100% was probably like my sophomore year of college is when I'd say like the outfits that I would wear then I would still wear today. But I think prior to that, I was still kind of, you know, figuring myself out and gaining more of my inspiration from like those around me rather than like myself, I guess. But I still like am very inspired by my friends and family.
Mm, that is a great source of inspiration. Also, like the benchmark of looking at an outfit and being like, I would still wear that present day. That's a good benchmark.
Yeah, because I'd say, yeah, sophomore year onwards, or those are outfits that I would still wear. But I think before then, it's like I was getting there, but I was like not fully there yet. Like there are certain pieces like freshman year that I don't. There are a lot of clothes I don't own anymore. I'd say that.
Yeah, definitely need to offload some clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. What was like the first shoe that you were like, I want to keep these forever?
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask that
My
too.
first shoe.
Yeah.
They're a pair of men's. I got them on Nordstrom, which is actually, you would be surprised. Nordstrom actually has some pretty dope sneakers. But I got a pair of Air Swoops. They're basketball shoe that are actually like pretty like an old shape, and they just like made them in the women's size. And they were kind of my first sneaker that I really loved, and I was like, oh, like I'm kind of cool right now. Like I feel like this is what I wanted. And yeah, I don't know, like it's fun like wearing a piece of clothing that like makes you feel a certain type of way. And I think that that's like what is like half of like my mood during my day is like kind of based on my what I wear, which I feel like is pretty normal. Like most people, or at least people who are like into like fashion and stuff like that, you know, your mood is either based on your clothing or vice versa. And yeah, they're my first pair of like cool sneakers that I owned.
Yeah. Shoes.
I guess.
Wait, do you feel, I was talking to like Kevin about this earlier today, but do you feel like you've reached a point where your style is like more or less going to stop changing?
I don't know. I think that I go through phases of being really bored with the clothes that I have, even though like I know that they're not boring. But I think that like, I don't know, you go through phases of your life where you feel more attached to like certain articles of clothing versus others. And I think that right now I'm kind of in this like figuring out what I want. Like I think I'm just like evolving my street style more than anything, and also kind of tapping into a little bit of both of like my feminine wardrobe, just because I do wear on a day-to-day basis, like my go-to is like a hoodie and like cargo pants, and there's like nothing wrong with that, but sometimes I'm like, all right, like I own other things that I could wear, so why not wear them? And just kind of mixing the two, like why not wear a nice blouse with like some baggy jeans and some heels and like call it a day. And I think that it's more of like reinventing the things I already own rather than like starting from scratch or like turning a new leaf, you know? But I mean, quarantine kind of does that to you too, because you like feel as though maybe you don't have a reason to get dressed every day. But then once I realized that we were going to be in the crib for, it's been almost a year now, I was like, I have to just dress for myself. And then I think I was able to kind of figure out what I am still working towards being. And I don't know, recently I've been drawing a lot more inspiration from just like Pinterest and like using mood boards on there to kind of put pieces together, and on Instagram too, just like saving posts that I like. And because I don't know, I definitely go through phases of kind of ready to like turn a new leaf, but then I don't know, I am definitely a classic, like I have my classic pieces and I like to build around them.
Sure. Okay, so also, aside from your parents, what else or who else inspires you fashion-wise?
Fashion-wise,
Yeah.
like, well, definitely my friends. Like, I'd say my like two best friends from home definitely inspire me a lot. I think that like being at Northeastern, I don't get maybe as much of the fashion inspiration as I would get when I'm home, because I'm so close. Like Boston's fashion scene is pretty lackluster in comparison to New York's. And so I also find myself kind of like ill-inspired sometimes when I'm here. And so it's always nice to go home and spend time with them, because both of them are in fashion school, and kind of being like, oh, like I didn't really know that that was a thing, or like you could wear this and it makes sense, even though in your head or like on paper it might not, type of thing. So I definitely am inspired a lot by them. And then, yeah, I'd say like right now, my like celebrity inspo for like the winter has probably been Hailey Bieber. I'm like pretty into like her kind of classic, again, what I was saying, like I have like my classic pieces that I stick to. I just got this overcoat recently that I think I've worn like every day since I've gotten it, and I'll probably wear it until it's too hot to wear it anymore. But yeah, she's definitely a source of inspiration. There are a couple of other just like New Yorkers that I follow on Instagram that I really like looking at their Instagram and kind of gaining some inspo from them. But it's never from one place. It's always from all over.
Of course. What's the overcoat?
The overcoat, it's like this huge, it's like too big for me, and has like these black shoulder pad situation, and it goes like right above my ankle. It's definitely like
Oh,
a men's like
cozy.
3XL coat, but I really like how it fits me. I can layer a lot of things underneath it, and it also works for like like I wore it today with like sweatpants and a t-shirt, but I've worn it with like a dress and boots. I just like that it kind of can work with any outfit. That's kind of what I look for at the end of the day, is a staple piece that works for multiple occasions. Get your money's worth, you know.
Yeah, that's epic. That's epic.
That's a good notion.
Question from the comments: do you have a favorite clothing material to wear or to shoot with?
Ooh, to shoot with?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard question. Okay, favorite to wear is probably just like, I love a good fleece. Like if I don't know, I have this one fleece in my closet that was my grandma's, and I wear it like all the time. And it's so cozy. It's great for like a summer night or through the winter. I love like fleece vests a lot as well. They're a good kind of like add-on, and very functional. To shoot with though, like if I'm at a shoot and like for a model to wear or use, we actually for the shoot we did with Kevin, who was the model,
Oh
we
yeah.
we used some like chiffon fabrics that were a little bit of like a mesh see-through. Um, quality, and those were pretty cool to kind of play with and use them not only for like as a part of the props, but also like over the camera and kind of manipulate the lens in that sense. That's kind of cool to have, again, like a multi-faceted item.
Yeah, that's super sick how y'all use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I really like the concept. This is like literally like probably a few minutes ago, but reinventing what you have in your closet as opposed to like going through a whole nother phase and getting rid of all your clothes.
Yeah.
That's also money saving too.
Yeah.
I might have to remember that.
I started getting into the habit of like between semesters, if I left a bunch of stuff at home while I was at school for the semester, if I didn't wear it for 3 months, I don't need it. And so I'll donate it. And that helped me like kind of really declutter a lot of stuff that I like accumulated over the years and things that like I just didn't feel attached to anymore. And we'll either donate, give to my roommates, or like sell on Depop, that type of thing. And then like there are always the pieces that I'm gonna have and like I bought for a certain amount of money, and so I want to get my money's worth out of them. So like I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also like repurposing clothes too.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to get more into repurposing things. One of my friends that's kind of like her thing right now. She's like has like a clothing line and stuff, and she uses a lot of like repurposed fabrics and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Get into it.
Yeah.
I guess to like wrap things up, just like how have like the institutions you've worked at and still part of like the Avenue, what have you gained from them?
Yeah. Do you want me to also talk about like co-op stuff or just the Avenue or?
I mean, whatever is more, whatever seems
Whatever
more
you've gained
significant.
the most from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Proportionally.
Yeah, so like my first like professional experience, I interned at this magazine called The Fader, which is a music and lifestyle magazine based in New York City. And that was like my first experience into the creative world, and kind of seeing firsthand how an idea comes to life. And I kind of took that as like you have as much, I mean, dependent on the company, of course, but like in the roles that you carry, you can like start an idea from nothing and produce it into a campaign if you wanted to. So that was like pretty inspiring to see like seeds of ideas become, global campaigns. And then moving towards the Globe, which was my like second internship that I currently have, kind of seeing more of a structure in terms of a start to finish and who like passing the baton off and working as a team. And I think that has helped me a lot in what I do at the Avenue, in terms of like it's a very much so a collaborative environment. Like the creative team is broken up into multiple categories of styling as well as photo and design, and then you have creative direction, which kind of brings, I don't know, we all play a part, and creative direction is kind of what carries it all together, I suppose, at the end of the day, in terms of print execution before it's published. And so I've learned a lot from like those two roles in terms of what I do there. And it kind of inspires me to like, I've learned through those experiences as well as the experience I have at the Avenue that if you have an idea, why not go for it? Because the worst you'll see is a no. And that's kind of inspired me through like life in terms of what I do in school, also like what I do, just, I don't know, like how I dress, like why, I don't know, you're never going to know unless you do it. I'd say that like that's what I've gained the most in terms of knowledge from industry experience and put it in and started to apply it to my personal life. It's kind of just trying, because that's at the end of the day, like that's what a creator is someone who, you can't create something unless you try first. So yeah, I don't know, that's like kind of my biggest takeaway, I'd say, from like my real world experiences.
Very cool. I guess so. The question we asked at the end of the show is, "What is the secret to your swag?" I guess like that was like a pretty good answer for it. But if you have anything else to add and to answer that question, go for it as well.
I think that a lot of it does come from confidence and like it's not something that, I mean, you can be taught it, I guess, but it's also like you just feeling comfortable with yourself. And I think that that comes from me just being in the terms of like not afraid. I mean, if you, why not try it? And then like if it works, then you like kind of get that confidence boost of like, oh, okay, like something I was unsure of actually worked out. And so I don't know, putting together an outfit that's like maybe not what you thought it was going to be, and then it's like, oh, it's like actually kind of sick, or like a design that I didn't think was like gonna actually be successful, your professor or your employer like actually really likes it. And so I think that all of that kind of has turned my like swag kind of like full circle, I guess. I don't know. I think it definitely has come a lot from just like not being afraid to at least try. Cause yeah, again, like the worst thing you hear is a no.
So to put
And
it
it's
out
not
there, before you shoot it down yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
Because
Okay,
you're going to be your
word.
worst critic. So, like, why not see what other people have to say? And, like, maybe it's still a no, but you do it anyways. Like, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's your life. So, do what you want with it.
Word. Wow.
That was great. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on and talking.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You
much for
have
having
definitely unlocked the swag on many mediums and facets of life,
me. Yeah,
undoubtedly.
still working towards it,
But
but
yeah,
one day at a time.
no, it's a lifelong process though, probably.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
absolutely.
know. I'm like 19. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show, and thank you to the audience for always being there for us.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Trin Gal. We missed
Theme song.
one question from
What?
Trin Gal.
Oh, one
Oh.
question.
Mhm. They said, "What, if any, accessories do you use with the models? Favorites? Question mark."
Ooh, accessories. Um, okay, well, my vision, we ended up, it didn't work with the outfit, but I really am been into like headwear recently and like headpieces and stuff like that. And so, um, like do-rags, I'm also into a lot of like, I really like rings, especially on guys. I think that that's like a kind of, you know, playing with like gender norms a bit. Even though like it's, I don't know, jewelry is jewelry. But probably those two, yeah, like do-rags and rings, I'm like really into at the moment, and would love to like
Word.
experiment more with like models wearing them and stuff in shoots. I feel like it's kind of a, I love experimenting with accessories that act as also like a form of like resistance or protest, like maybe are kind of seen, like if you saw that photo, for someone who might be of conservative mindset would question why that person is wearing it. I don't know, those like minor details can, I feel, make a pretty big impact on a brand or just a shoot in general.
Okay, heard. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so like the way that guys break gender norms is very different from the way that girls break.
Oh yeah, I talked about yeah. Like
As
the way. Yeah.
like my understanding very like simply is that like the way that guys do it is by like decorating themselves more, like, putting on jewelry and like
Makeup.
painting their nails. But like, what is the way that girls break gender norms, or that like you would do it maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like at its simplest form, it's probably like cross-dressing, you know, like wearing what is like in the men's section. But yeah, I mean, you do bring up a good point that I think that it's also like seemed as more of a bigger deal when someone who identifies or looks like a man wears something that is of like a woman's wardrobe. Even though it shouldn't matter for either genders, or those who identify as such. But yeah, I guess like for me, or any of my friends that prefer or like just are in the mood to dress differently, it's probably like wearing something that makes us look like a little boy or like a guy, or just wearing like really baggy clothes, or maybe like a collared shirt and like fitted pants that like are maybe more seemed normalized with men than with women. But I don't know, like sometimes I'll leave the house and be like, I really look like I feel like a guy today. And like, I like that. Like, let's go to class, you know, I don't know. It's fun.
All right.
Very nice.
Well, that's all the questions I had in my brain. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We really loved having you.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Yeah, very informative, and you seem to, yeah, you have a good grasp on yourself and what you portray outwardly too. So it's very cool to talk with someone that's like, I guess, older than us, literally.
It's because her brain's more mature.
Yeah, more life lived.
Yeah, just a couple years on you. Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. It concludes February.
Nice.
Yeah, this is Unlock the Swag. Tune in again next week.
Yeah, we're signing out next week. We're gonna have, I mean, two more of our friends, but we're kicking off duos.
We're having our first double interview.
Lauren O'Sullivan and Mel Saint Cyr. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I might have botched it. But yeah, very cool, very exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Make a graphic. Dad, please play the theme song. Yeah.
Unlock the swag.
Epic. I forgot to send in the freaking.
Do you make a graphic?
No.
Oh, that's fine then. Hey. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to eat food. Frick, bro. I forgot to put the rice noodles in water.
Not the rice noodles.
Wait, actually, I'm not eating rice noodles, so never mind. Doesn't matter.
My brain is so dead. Okay, thanks, Dad. She was a good talker.